Greetings from hell, you beast. Weirdness, the otherworldly, the paranormal, and mysticism have haunted me all my conscious life. People around me felt it too. I've even come to terms with it. I'm almost not frightened, and I've learned to distinguish reality from visions. Therefore, when I encounter such phenomena, I am not particularly hysterical, but I am always scared. I am scared because I am in contact with not only the restless souls of the deceased, but also with entities of different ranks and colors. It would seem that, once again seeing one of them, I should be more relaxed. I have lost count of how many of them I have seen in my life, but I cannot do anything about it. I fall into a stupor every time. In future posts I will definitely share who, what and why. For now, I want to begin my debut with a relatively innocent story. At the time I was working as an accountant in a furniture manufacturing company. There were two of us in the office, myself and my colleague, part-time close friend Sabina. As usual, we are sitting typing something. In the room heard only the clacking of the keyboard. It's noon, outside the window February frost. My cell phone rang. The number is unfamiliar. I pick up the phone, say hello without much interest, but I was carried away by the translation. I hear a child's voice in the tube. Is that Mommy? The child was crying and stuttering. No, baby, you have the wrong number. It's not Mom. Please, Auntie, call my mother. Who's your mother? What's her name? Allah. Her name is Allah. The child couldn't calm down. But there's no Allah here, kid. What's your name? Anton. And you? Anton, nice to meet you. And my name is Alia. Why are you crying? I'm alone at home. My mother left. She always goes out and leaves me alone. I'm only 5 years old. I'm scared. Please, Aunt Alia, tell your mother that I'm scared. I got angry. What kind of mother is that? How can you leave a little girl alone? This is your mother's phone, Aunt Ashenka? Yes. And how did you find my number? It was in the phone? Or did you dial it by accident? I did. Where's Dad? Where's your house? Dad's not here. Where is home? I don't know. How can I help you, honey? What can I do? I've never felt so helpless. He was crying so much. I, on the other hand, was mad as hell. I was already figuring out how to teach that irresponsible mother, if you can call her that. And my friend had already put her work aside and was looking at me intently, periodically wondering in whispers what was going on. Just talk to me, Auntie, until my mother comes back. I'm really scared. Okay, baby. Don't you go to daycare? No, I can't go. Why not? You can't. Okay, we're done here. What does your mother do? She's crying. She doesn't hug me anymore. And you tell your mom not to leave you home alone anymore. The boy hung up on me. I called the number back. It rang, but no one answered. I called again, but in vain, no answer. I got worried that something might have happened to him, but what could I do? I called a friend who worked for the police at the time. I asked him to run the number and get the address. I told him about the call, but he said he had no right to such inquiries without good reason. I put the phone down and, after some time and bewilderment, got to work. The workday was over. I stood at the bus stop and waited for the bus. The cold was like a dog. My cell phone rang and I looked at the number. I pick up the phone, a woman's voice there. Hello, I got 2 calls from your number. Are you Allah? Yes, and who are you? My name is Aliyah. Your son Anton called me from your number today and said, who? Your son. His name is Anton, right? Young lady, why are you delirious? Is this a joke? Have mercy on me. Look, I don't have time to joke with you. Maybe you should keep a better eye on your kid, so he doesn't call in tears at the occasional. Allah hung up, and I was shaking with anger. I wanted to dial again and speak out, but I thought I shouldn't. 3 or 4 months passed. I had forgotten about the incident. The beginning of June, I was sitting in my office with my friend, and I did not feel like working. We had just had a big dinner. I felt sleepy. I stand by the open window and smoke. My friend is passionately telling me about her dream in which she saw me. My cell phone rings. An unfamiliar number. Hello, Aunt Aliyah? Yes, Aliyah. Anton, is that you? Yes. Are you home alone again? Yes, but I'm not scared. Wait a minute. Last time he said he accidentally sort of dialed my number. What about now? Did he remember my number? I highly doubt it. Was it saved in my mom's phone? I don't think so either. I don't know why, but my heart started pounding. Anton, how did you dial my number? Was it saved in Mom's phone? No, I did. The child was very calm and listened carefully to what I would say. How did you remember my number? Looking at my rounded eyes, my friend also stared. What's wrong? You've been so good to me and Aliyah. Aliyah, that's how I remembered your number. Where's Mama, baby? What are you afraid of, Auntie? You sound sad. Did your mother lead you too? No, I'm just tired. At this point, my thoughts were just mixed up in my head, and none of them were adequate. Okay, well, I'll be going. Thank you, Auntie. You're welcome. I hung up the phone. I told my friend about my conversation with his mother in the winter. Knowing the strangeness of my life, my friend advised me to talk to Allah again in the evening. We waited until the end of the day. I called that number and put it on speaker. Hello, yes, Allah? Yes, it's me. And who's speaking? I'm sorry, I don't know how to explain it to you, but please, don't think of it as, well, I got another call from your number, and again a boy named Anton spoke to me. Silence. Please understand correctly. I myself am uncomfortable disturbing you, but maybe you left your phone somewhere, or someone used your phone as a joke. But that boy, Anton, said that you were his mother, that you left him home alone. I just want to find out. The girl, Anton is my son, was my son. He's gone. The woman began breathing loudly, as if she couldn't get enough air. My friend and I looked at each other. I accepted the news more or less calmly, but my friend's lips turned blue with fear. I do not quite understand. My son died 2 years ago. Fell out the window, she said, her voice trembling. I don't know who was talking to you, but it certainly wasn't my son. Have some conscience. Don't call this number again. She hung up. We sat in silence for a long time. It seemed as if we had sat like this for over an hour. My friend was the first to speak and said she had no desire to find out what it was, and she advised me to change my number. I had been meaning to change my number for a long time, since my ex had been bothering me a lot. The next day my friend and I met early. went and bought me a new number and calmed down. A year went by. Surprisingly, it was a quiet year. Even, you might say, the only year in which no particularly mystical events happened to me. I was still working there, but I was looking for another job. A friend was about to leave that job too, so during our lunch break we were looking at job sites together. My cell phone rang. I asked my friend to answer it, and I kept browsing the website. She answered, but there was silence. She hung up, said it was quiet on the other end, and then put the phone away. Another call came in. She handed the phone to me and told me it was the same number, saying answer it yourself. I picked up the phone, but there was silence. I asked a couple of times who it was, but in response, silence again. I shrugged and hung up. The third call. I was fed up and raised my tone in irritation. Just talk already. You will not be bitten. And Alia? In an instant my hands went cold, my heart went to my throat, and my legs fell off. I hung up the phone and with trembling lips whispered to my friend, "It's him again." Both became hysterical, and the phone rang again. I hung up, but the calls kept ringing. I decided it was time to end this comedy. I don't know who's messing with me, but this is getting out of hand. I answered the next call in a very rude, but still trembling voice. I don't know who you are, what your jokes are, but, and Alia, it's me, Anton. The familiar childish voice kept telling me, "No, you're not Anton. Stop mocking me. Tell me who you are. Otherwise, I swear I was interrupted no longer by the voice of a 5-year-old boy, but by an old horseman who looked as if he had laryngeal cancer and as if he was belching out every word. You got a hello from your brother, bitch. That one-eyed man is burning in hell and cursing you. You didn't keep up with him. You didn't save him. No one believed you." I dropped the phone and stood there like a stone, wide-eyed. I couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't even blink. I was so paralyzed I forgot to breathe for a while. My legs felt cotton. A friend jumped up and caught me as I nearly fell. No one around me knew or could have known that I had an older brother. He lost one eye when he was 12 years old. He tripped, hit a sideboard, broke the glass in his eye. I was 7 when he killed himself at the age of 18. He kept saying someone was after him ever since he was left with one eye. He was afraid of the dark. He wasn't left home alone, and he often woke up screaming. He said whoever was following him was trying to kill us. If he didn't kill himself, the creature would take us. We have a skeptical family. No one believed that there were other worlds and creatures out there behind the veil of reality. They tried to cure my brother, although 25 years ago there were no such techniques of diagnosis and treatment. That's why they called him crazy. But I believed my brother, because I myself often saw this thing in his room. Usually it sat in the corner between the closet and the wall on the truce. The light did not fall well there, but I could see its silhouette clearly in the half-light. All black, with long arms and crooked legs, slouching. So thin, it was as if every phalanx of a vertebrae protruded down his back like a blunted horn. The constant grin and the flashing yellow eyes on the black, oblong face with the sharp chin. He showed himself to me with gusto, as if he were getting high himself, and his smile, or grin stretched wider. Reaching out to my parents was impossible. Who would believe a 7-year-old kid and a guy who went off the rails? And on that ill-fated day when my brother broke out of the locked room where he was kept tied up so he wouldn't hurt himself, I couldn't stop him. He got out of there very quietly so his family wouldn't notice, ran out into the street like a bullet, and was gone in an instant. I ran after him, but I couldn't figure out which direction he went. My mother and another brother were at home. I called them and screamed and got hysterical, but we couldn't find him. They found his body 2 days later. He had hanged himself in an abandoned factory outside the city. I don't want to go into any details. And now, 25 years later, when I thought I had forgotten those nightmares, my brother's murderer is back to mock me. I don't know where the connection is with this nightmare from my past and that little boy Anton. I don't know why, in order to hurt me, this thing used someone else's grief. Given the strangeness and horrors of the otherworldly plan that had occurred in my life, I had long ago given up looking for logic in it. But this evil didn't just leave me. But more about that later. If you're interested,